recognize your flag already. Hi, Zambia. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, Chinaza, thank you. You really loved the lessons. Fantastic. So, what was the light bulb moment for you? I want to hear something specific. Oh, this is what when I heard this, I'm like, oh my god, what is this? And all of that. But sorry, you've not been able to access learning management system. What's the issue? You might want to send an email to support. Last I checked, we don't have any pending emails we've not responded to. You might want to resend an email so we can check what is going on. Oh, Elizabeth, the assessment was fun. How many times did you have to take it before you passed it? I'm glad to hear that it was fun. Oh, you really loved the lesson, Bashir. Thank you for letting me know. How well, though? Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that it was impactful. Um, your email modification, yes, but like when you had the CV class, when I was telling you guys that you should not have emails like sexypuff@gmail.com or dancing beauty. Sure, you've changed your email for those of you who have that kind of email. I don't want to see that again. No, better change it. I'm glad you said email modification stood out for you. I love to hear that, and I'm going to be hearing more about it during the review on Sunday. Um, Winnie, your message is not complete though. I want to see it though. The most interesting part for you. Um, Amina, okay, you missed the onboarding. Sorry. I hope you saw the replay. The replay is on the learning management system. Hey, Salem has finished her week one. That it was knowledgeable. Thank you. Um, okay, hope it's saying if only I had the knowledge I got during the lesson, my email would have been a more professional one. Oh, oh my. Now you can still create something else. You can still create a new email and then have that as your professional email and keep the other one for random subscriptions that you might have. It's fine to have more than one email. All right. Um Everybody is loving the you and your email lesson. Okay. So can we safely say that's the topmost the most favorite lesson for week one? Everybody is saying email and you. Okay, fantastic. Okay, nice. Hi, Fatuma. How is Zambia? How is Gambia today? Or the Gambia rather? Um, yes, it will be a great turning point in your life, Maseret. I love that you have that mindset. And yes, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot you're gonna see, and I believe you're gonna be changed. I can't wait to read your success story. Oh, Bashir, you passed it at a go. Fantastic. I love to hear that. Um, you reset your password, Busari. You reset your password if it's showing you incorrect password or username. Not that the user is not found. You have to reset it. Then there's something you're doing wrong from your end. You reset it. Um, Oh yeah, how information travels. So most of us use phone and internet. We don't know how it works. So you just call somebody and you get it. You don't know how it's connected. And I'm sure most of you didn't know that the internet was not a figure of speech, but it was actually wires that were interconnected across the globe. So it's good to hear that. I was waiting for somebody to say this, the origin of the internet. Thank you, Bola, for sharing that. Oh, Messi, my story. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Olivia. Are you a reporter? Olivia reporting from Group 25. I love that. I love the vibe. Okay, welcome everyone, and thank you for sharing your feedback. So we're starting right away because we literally, I don't know what we're going to share. Oh. I don't know. Me, I'm the guest today. Oh. For the very first time in Tech Up Girls, I'm the guest. But I'm excited to do this with all of you. And the person that is coming on board today has been a coach for us. If you go to the coaching calls on YouTube, you're going to see her replays. Mrs. Emiola has been an amazing catalyst in my life. She has a gift of foresight, and she saw parts of me that I did not even see. Biba in that time in my life, all I wanted to do was just survive. Just let me just. I don't know. I just didn't know, and the last thing I wanted to do was think. But then when you have, and that's why I love what we're doing with the smaller groups, where your coaches are making you or forcing you to think, to sit down and look at this thing. Funny enough, most of the things we're going to be teaching you, you might even know them. You might have an idea, but you just have never sat down to pay critical, close attention to them. and that's why they've not made a difference for you. So I had this so many things, but I'd gone through all these parts in life that hit me right, left, and center that I didn't even know who I was anymore. And the person that consistently told me for 3 years that without him I could be nothing and I was going to be nothing was no more in my life. So how do I now become something? What was there to live for anymore? And I coincidentally met her. Uh, Thanks to a friend of mine that invited me for this amazing meeting, CEO hangout, and that was the connection. And since then, she's been so much, several different things to me. But one of the things she's been to me is a catalyst. And I'm excited we're having this conversation because I feel that this conversation will serve as a catalyst to you all as well. How did we come about this? So I'd already told myself and told the team that the Tech Up Girls for this year, I'm going to take the coaching calls myself and I'm going to really pay attention to you guys and, and all of that. But I was still thinking of the topic for this week. When we got on a call and she was checking up on me and some things, and one thing she's always told me in the last few years is you have to duplicate yourself. You have to duplicate yourself. She just keeps telling me that, and I'm like, yeah, I know, Mama, but I don't know how or this or that. And in the course of our conversation, she said there are some things I've noticed about you that I think might be responsible for the results that you churn out. And I think if you want a guide on how to talk about these things, you might want to really talk about them. And when she was mentioning them, I'm like, oh, it's true. It's true. It's true. And it forced me to think like she always does. So like I shared in the video I shared earlier this morning, people can be doing the same thing, brush with the same brush, wake up from the same bed, drink the same water, walk on the same streets. The left leg will go before the right leg, exactly the same thing, but they won't have the same results. And you might be wondering, what's the issue? Does God have favorites? Am I a hand fan? Am I a butterfly? And all of that. But I realized that there's some things you will notice from people that have cracked exceptional results. There's a thread. If you pay attention, Bishop Oyedepo said the secret of great men is in their stories. The truth is that most people that have achieved some certain kind of heights, they don't even have the time to sit down and analyze which one actually made a difference. They might have done so many things and they're just busy moving forward. But I'm very interested in you guys. I'm very passionate about your growth. And I don't want to give you fluff. I don't want to lie. I don't want to just come and tell you, oh, just do this. There are other things beyond learning technical skills that can help you become something significant in life or that can ease your progress and your growth. And I'm like, okay, mom, I'm going to teach them this, but please, can you come and let's do it together? You'll be bringing it out to be asking me, and I will be doing that. And I'm so excited that she obliged to come. Now she's a very beautiful woman, like and this is her rest month, but she agreed to come, and I'm so grateful. I feel very privileged and honored um that she agreed to come. So I want you to have your notes and pen. Pay close attention to whatever we're saying, what we're discussing. If you have questions, put it in the comments. If you have light bulb moments, put it in the comments as well. Um, Pay attention. Pay attention. She asked me if I'm ready. I'm like, okay, me, I don't know the questions she will ask me, but I don't know. But okay, I'm here. So welcome, Mama, and thank you so much for
Thank you.
breaking this month for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And good afternoon, everyone. I think it's afternoon here in Nigeria already. Excellence. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for being a blessing to your world, to your generation. I celebrate you. I love you. I don't know. I really don't know. But, I didn't know what God was planning when our path crossed. I didn't have an idea. But I thank God. I thank God for with the little obedience that I usually do, because obedience is very small. Okay, so I thank God. So thank you for all you do. And I want to welcome everyone to the call this afternoon. From wherever you are joining from in Africa, there is actually a mission to Africa. And when it goes through the woman, it's more potent. That's the truth. So for everyone here on this call, I want you to know that you are not just here for to learn digital skills. You are on a mission to your world, to your country, to your neighborhood, to the city where you reside, to your maybe your church, your religious organization, and many more. Sorry, I have the gift to motivate too, so let me use it small.
I love
Okay,
you.
so I want you to hold that. So thank you so much for joining this afternoon. So this afternoon, I feel that we should learn more about excellence. We should learn more about her and not just the technical skills. She's very technical, I know that. But I have observed that there are some things around her that if you will do well with the technical skills that you will acquire in the course of being on the Tech Up Girls, you need to know them. Number one, you need to be aware of them. I call that expanding your awareness on some things. Then you need to put them into practice. Okay, so we will see how God will help us to inspire you today to put those things to practice after your awareness has been expanded, and we are going to really focus on that. Now, when I talk about expanding your awareness, it means having more things in your awareness when you are taking decisions, when you are acting, when you are doing things, when you're running your business, and it will definitely be different. It's going to be better, and you're going to stand out. Now, let me say this. One of the things, soft skills, which is the summary of everything I'm going to be asking her today. One of the soft skills will do for you is that it will help your hard skills to shine. Now, there's a medical doctor that everybody wants to go to. And there's another medical doctor, maybe a surgeon, a dentist, that people just want to avoid, because when you go there, yes, he's gone to school for maybe 6-7 years. He was on campus with this other person, but the soft skills are just so bad. The energy that he emits is not the kind of energy that you feel comfortable with, and you don't want to go to that person. I don't know if you've experienced somebody like that. May not be a medical doctor, maybe a lawyer, maybe a business owner, maybe a friend, maybe a colleague. You know, if you have experienced people like that, just put it in the comments. They've been to school, but somehow you just don't feel like doing anything with them. So that's the summary of everything I will be talking about. Now, I will just summarize the seven of the things that I have noticed about excellence. I'm going to summarize them, and she will take them one after the other and talk about them. I feel that when we know these things and we add them to the add skill of digital skills, then we will shine. Everyone that will be on this call or that will see this later, I assure you, you will shine. Now, in my part of the world, we like to say that show me the road, as in maybe you are doing Yahoo Yahoo, or you are going somewhere to do something different that I don't know, especially when you are producing the kind of results that is as if, how is she doing it? There must be somebody doing something for her. I believe strongly that God loves every one of us, and we can actually all produce very good results if we know what works. That's what I usually tell people. When I tell you that you should expand your awareness, I usually add that you should know what works. So I will be talking about several things. I'll just mention them briefly so that she can explain how she's doing them to us. I have worked with excellence now, I think, for 4 or 5 years. I think we've been together for like 4 or 5 years. And when we started, excellence worked on some projects for me. And one of the things that struck me very hard when I met her is her level of knowledge. That's the first thing I'm going to talk about any subject matter that you want to work with her on. If you say, excellence, do this, and in fact, I want to jump into another one. I'll just try, because there are so many. I've tried to want to contain myself to 7, you know. So when I say do this for me, her level of knowledge, especially when I check her age, I'm like, what? This young girl, how is she doing it? She would just be like, we do this, are you aware of this, are you? And I'm like, what? How? Where is she getting them from? Is it that when she's sleeping at night, God opens her brain up and, excellent, you need to tell us the secret today, and just put some and just put some of these things inside. The way excellence will go, what will be like, what is it? Hey, calm down, young girl, you know. So that's the first thing that I noticed in excellence. That's the first knowledge. She's an embodiment of knowledge, and relevant information will just be popping up when you want her to work with you on something. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, maybe if you want me to shed more light on those later, I will, but I want her to talk. The second thing is that excellence is very hard working. That's number two. Very hard working. We worked on some projects, and when we are done discussing, at times I won't be expecting anything from her, but you just see message from excellence. Mama, check your Gmail. Mama, check, and I'll be like, hey, I'm not even ready. I'm not. She has done so much. She will do so much. When you check the things that she has done, you'll be wondering, when did I tell her this thing? How did this happen? You know, and all of that. So, and I was talking to her the day we agreed to do this. I said, your people will need to understand what you do at the back end, excellence. Your result that everybody is seeing, it will not be fair for people not to know what you do at the back end. I know you do a lot at the back end, and I make bold to say that there is a back end to life. Even when you see Indomie and you just put it on the gas, and in 5 minutes you have a meal, something has gone into it. A lot has gone into making that Indomie, bringing that Indomie into that state where you just put it on the gas and in 5 minutes you can have a meal. So there's a back end to life. Then number three thing that I have noticed about excellence is she does not give up at the first sight of obstacles. No way. You give, no matter what you give excellence to do, and there are obstacles everywhere. Even me that is saying do this, I can see the obstacles vividly. I will run into my shell and go and hide there, just stay there. The way she will bring up something, you will know that this person has gone beyond the ordinary to make this happen. She doesn't give up at the sight of obstacles. That's the third thing. The fourth thing is she can handle starting small, because I have seen that in this generation, especially with this all of the things that we see around, you know, and I don't blame the generation, especially Gen Z, because they can see anything anywhere in the world from the comfort of their bedroom. You can open your laptop and you can actually be in Hawaii and look at all of the beautiful things there, you know. So somehow starting small might just be difficult for you. You might just think that, okay, you know, I can take a vacation, you know, I want to be on this trip. Excellence is somebody that if you give her something to do, or she needs to do something. For example, when she started this Tech Up Girls, she started small and she started growing it. And before we know what is happening, you can see what we have today. That's the fourth one. The fifth thing is that she can be relied on to deliver. And this one, get as they do me. You know that song, eh? Get as they do me. When you can give somebody something and say, excellent, please make this happen, and you can go to sleep. That's a major one. And that is one of the challenges that we're facing when we give people work to do, especially as business owners. And that is one of the reasons why many small, young entrepreneurs, they cannot keep a good number of customers that will help them to thrive in whatever they are doing. Because when somebody gives you something to do and they cannot sleep, they can't rely on you, they can't drop it on your laps and go to sleep, then you will struggle to keep those customers. You will really, really struggle. And when you're supposed to have like 100 people that can give you maybe like 5,000 every month, which will make you 500,000 every month, you are struggling to keep 10. So she can be relied on to deliver. When you give the assignment, I don't know how she does it. So those are the things she will be telling us today. Number 6 is that she's very proactive. Very, very. She doesn't wait for you to be pushing her and telling her, oh, excellence, why don't you, excellence, no. In fact, she will be the one that will put you on your toes like this. You're working with excellence, you're on your toes. Because she's really proactive. She's thinking, I don't know, maybe she doesn't sleep. Excellence, you need to confess. I don't know how you make all of these things happen. Then the 7th thing that I'd like to talk about today, I have many more, but I'm just going to leave it at this 7 for her to shed more light on for us, is the God factor in her life. In our world today, I think we want to not talk about God. We just want to sweep that under the carpet and be like, But I think that God factor in her life. In fact, when excellence says, and God told me, I just leave it, no matter how stupid that thing sound. I know she must have noticed. I don't go there. I just leave it. But I see it as coming from somebody that does not take the place of God for granted in her life. That's why she can categorically or boldly tell you that this is what the direction God wants me to go now, and all of that. And I think that God factor in her life also makes her have integrity. And there were times that I've given my password to excellence without thinking. She opened one of my accounts for me. She did the opening from the beginning. I think Wema or something. Did everything from the beginning to the password. I don't blink. I am not afraid. I leave everything to her. I think I've given her my password to my emails, the real email that I use. I don't have plenty money in really some of the account. At times, it's just difficult to release some such information to people. But I think maybe the God factor in her life actually helps her to go to move around some of these things. So I will stop on this 7 today and just roll it over to her to have the floor. So excellence, you need to tell us how you make these things happen, how you do these things. Thank you.
Oh wow, this is Mama, you just blew my mind, and I want to say thank you. Wow, I don't even know what to say. I'm honored, and you sharing all of this just kind of putting into context my growth, and I could just see how far God has brought me. I'm very grateful. So first, I would say maybe I wasn't always like that, but then maybe there were
Okay.
traces. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Let me say this. I wanted to start on that note because I don't want anybody to be discouraged. And thank God that that is where you're starting from, your growth journey. I want to say that excellence is not perfect. It's not a perfect human being. I am not perfect. None of us on this planet is perfect. None of us will ever be. So you need to be aware of that and don't discourage yourself. Say, hey, only one person, we all of this accolade, who does that, So please don't discourage yourself. Please listen and learn. Thank you, Excellence.
Yeah, thank you. So I would just start from, okay, the first one is level of knowledge. Um, I've always loved to read. I always loved to read. However, I had this pause in my life, my whole marriage and all of that, that literally distorted me for those 3 to 4 years. But one thing I've always learned that exceptional people do from the little I'd read is that they give themselves to knowledge. I do not believe that there's nothing you cannot learn, and I do not box myself. I read any and everything. In terms of knowledge, I love to read. I love books, soft copies, hard copies. I read a lot. I read a lot. And also, when I'm asked the question, for most people these days, I think their first instinct is to say, I cannot do it, or I don't know how to. I don't do that. I quickly check. If you tell me something right now that I don't know about, the next thing is I'm reading about it. I'm checking, I'm noting it down. I love to read a lot and I love to write. Now, the beautiful thing about reading is that when you begin to speak and you communicate, it's from the abundance of your heart. It's like it's from your bowels. What you do not have in your head and your heart will not come out if you don't have it.
Mm,
So even if you're reading it casually, you're just reading casually. It's there somewhere, and when the situation calls for it, it will come out. And when I say read, I don't read novels per se, storybooks. Um, I'm very keen on this scripture that says that follow them who through faith and patience have obtained the promise. I'm sorry if you're not a Christian, but I believe it applies to everybody. So if I want to listen to you, I want to follow you, I want to see your scars, I want to know your stories. And with stories, I can't pay everybody for one-on-one. I cannot be everywhere. But with books, you can access this. You can buy books, you can download them online. And so, because I've always had this, there's something about my life. I want to be different. I don't know how. I don't know where I'm going to become. As at that time, I didn't even know. I didn't even know how to connect it. I was here, jobless, broke, whatever. But I knew that something was going to give. But what I knew about myself was I needed to prepare myself for when it was going to give. So I just kept studying, studying, studying. I read everything, read. And I think that's where the knowledge comes from. And when I also study this in terms of when it comes to knowledge, in terms of skills, um I have that mindset that okay, I can do this. And because I'm self-driven, so most people, they can have so many courses and they don't finish. I don't do that. I will take all of them, I will do them, I will take notes. And when I'm learning, I am working, I am applying what I'm learning at the spot. I'm trying, even if it's for free, even if it's for myself, there was a certain point in my life when I felt, oh, you just know so many things, you've just learned so many things, you're not even using all. And it felt so sad. But looking back now in retrospect where I am today, it's all beginning to make sense. It's all coming together. No knowledge was wasted. So in terms of level of knowledge, I read. No matter how busy I am, at least for 1 hour, 2 hours every day, I must read. I must read something. I must read. I read journals, I read papers. Some people read, but all they read is Mills and Booms, storybooks, and all of that, which is not bad. But I think you need to give your brain something to think about. And I also question things, not in a rude way, but when I see something, I want, how does this work? What happened? I don't just accept things like that. Oh, this TV came on. Okay, how did it come on? What kind of cord? That kind of thing. I'm very inquisitive. And so it has really helped me, and it has just made me just be learning, 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 learning. And I'm still learning. So I don't know if that answers the question for level of knowledge. Does that satisfy? I learn, I read a lot, and I study.
Yeah, wow, thank you so much, Excellence. And please, if you pick some things, please can you help us drop them in the comments section? The things I picked. She said she notes things down. If you tell her something that she doesn't know, she will note it down and go find out. Number two, she said she applies whatever she has learned. If she will go and apply it immediately. For example, if she has learned how to develop website or how to design a flyer, she will go immediately and go and apply that. And I think that is missing. We learn and we don't. A wise man said, the widest gap between in this world is the gap between knowing and doing. So I need you to learn that. That's a major code that she just cracked there. Then she said she reads for like 1-2 hours every day, maybe articles and all of those things. Then she said, give your brain something to think about. Give your brain something to think about. The more you give your brain things to think about, the more, especially when you give it every time you are repeating it, it's going to register in your subconscious mind, and when you need to pull it out, it just jump out at you. Thank you so much, Excellence. So can we go to number two?
There's something else I think when you were talking about doing. So there's something most people wait when they start learning, they just feel I'm not good enough to apply. So I do not wait for perfection. I don't wait to perfect that skill or what I've known. I just go on it, and I'm not scared to be vulnerable. I'm not scared to say, oh, I'm on this journey, but I think I can give it a shot. Um I always tell people, just give me a chance, just let me try, just give me a chance to try. So I don't wait for perfection. Sometimes people are waiting, oh, I've not finished learning. They will learn 1 million things. They still don't get it. But in that doing, it will make more sense. And that's where you begin to gain perfection. Whatever it is you learn, whatever it is you're doing, immediately try to apply it. So yeah, I needed to add that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Number two.
Okay, so number So she says I'm hardworking. So at certain points in my life, or when she was saying this, I was saying that, okay, by the way, I didn't have this notes you're sharing before we came here, so it's not like I planned anything. So as she's saying it, all of us are listening together. So in terms of hard work, I think I've always, that's what people say, because when I got my recent big wins and I wrote to my supervisor in the university, wrote to my lecturers, and what they wrote me back was amazing. My supervisor literally said, "You have an innovative mind. You're always exceptional." She said I'm the best student she has ever supervised, and I was an undergraduate, and she has supervised so many students, postgraduates, and all. And I could not believe it because I was sick and I felt I didn't give it my best. So I was surprised she had that opinion about me, and she was like, she was not surprised. So left for me, I would have said that is, since after my divorce and all, I knew I had to survive, and everything was not working the way I thought it was, and I realized nobody was coming to save me, and so I
Mm.
needed to work hard. I needed to do the work. So I would have said that is why, that's what propelled me. But beginning to look back at so many things and looking at, people say I've always worked hard. I don't know, but I'm brain smart, although I'm not very domesticated, by the way. So um
Don't worry, we
I have
hire
to
people
say
to do those ones.
so, yeah, so in my head. So yeah. One day, I don't know if any of you have watched this movie, Sister. It relates. I was able to relate to the movie a lot. But I remember when my son was really sick, very, very sick. And he was so sick I could not afford 150 naira to buy him paracetamol. And out of, there was no, I didn't have a choice. I just had to reach out to his dad at that time. And his dad goes, "Are you not the one that took him? If he dies, anything that happened to him is on your head. When he grows up, he will tell you that, why did you take him away from me? If he was with me, he would have had a better life or something." He said some things, and my brain just resets. I'm like, no, 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 this will not happen. I can't. I'm lying on the bed and crying. I had to stand up. I knew I had to work, not just for me, but to ensure that he gets the future he deserves. Every day I see him come up with a kind of unusual, blessing. No, his dad does not give support. I have full custody. He doesn't give any support whatsoever. So I realized that my son was exceptionally brilliant, and there was just something about him. And I knew that if I had to give him the resources to compete with his excellence on the level that he should, then I needed to work hard. So I needed to get my ass up. So that was my why at the beginning. That was what propelled me first to start finding way beyond being I'm a scientist, I'm looking for a job, I'm sending CV everywhere. I had to forget about that one and just find, what can I do? What can I do? How can I make money? That was the first thing. But I realized that even now, when things are a little bit more comfortable, I'm still like that. I'm still working hard. I'm still, so maybe it's an inherent thing. And I think hard work doesn't kill. The scripture that helps me with hard work is, when Solomon says that God should allow him bear his yoke in his youth. So I'm like, I am still young. Let me work the hard work now so that I can rest later. I feel that my body is still flexible. I'm still young. So I have to work. And I also am a little bit obsessed with excellence. Some people call it perfection. So I'm always, once you give me, I also have this brain of execution. So you just have to tell me the idea, my head just calculates everything. This is how it should work. I'm just able to draw the all the connections. Somebody made a post on cracks today, and I had to comment that, hey, this is me. She said when she wakes up in the night, she will just start looking for clothes. I literally just wake up in the night and I have ideas, and I'm pacing around and I'm like, okay, this, and I wake up and I start writing. You think I'm mad? Yeah, it's that bad. You give me a job and I do it. Initially, I used to get angry because the way I'll do it with speed, I would tell my heart, the person that you're doing it for might not even need it immediately, and they'll just be doing it casually, and I'll be like, "Ah, oh." But I also realized that I could not stop doing it. I will still be doing it. I'll keep going off on the board. So in as much as I can give so many whys, I don't just know why, but I just know it has to be done well, and God just gives me these ideas on how it should be done. And for some reasons, you see, all these things connect because I have the knowledge and the skill. I'm not able to now be doing all of them by myself. I'm not waiting for, oh, they have not updated the website, oh, this person have not done the design. I'll just be doing it all because I can do it by myself. And that's because I have learned and given myself to knowledge, so I'm not easily stranded, so I'm able to deliver in a short time with or without so many people like that. So yeah, that's I think that's it about hardworking. And I've also committed to my life. There's something that always comes to my head. Your life is different. You're going somewhere. You're a global excellence. There's something coming. How it will pan out, I don't know. Even though I'm in one lungu, I'm living there. It's just for a while. There's something coming. There's something coming, and so it just keeps ringing in my head to live intentionally, to give my best, to ensure that my integrity is intact, to deliver no matter the small resources. You have to do it. I don't know, it's just there. You have to do it. You are different. Your fight is different. Your life is different. You're going somewhere, so you can't just live like that. It's just for a while, and another that thing is just for a while. It's just there. It's just for a while. It's not forever. It's just for a while. Just do it. Just do it. And it just keeps me going. So that hard working thing, you just have to work hard. You have to do it, especially when you don't have the luxury of resources to be paying people to do some things for you. You might need to do it first. And when you start doing it, there are two things that can happen. Number one, you might eventually be able to earn enough money to get people to support you. Or number two, you might get people that will rally around you eventually to support the work you do. But just start, just do it. And even in my hard work, I'm not waiting for it to be perfect though. Just be doing. If we make mistake, it's not hard. You start again. Okay, sorry, that one has passed. Cry,
Mm.
you clean your eye, start again. So yeah, that's it. I hope that I answered that well as well.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Please, I want to get you guys to drop stuffs in the comments. Let people learn from you because she said so many things. I'm not even sure I'm able to capture everything she said. So, please, if you captured some, I need you to put it in the comments. I captured like 10 or more. I'm going to just mention them. Number one, she said nobody was coming to save her, so she took responsibility for herself. That's one of the reasons, one of the things that she can say account for why she's hardworking or what pushes her to be hardworking. Then her why. We say when your why is strong enough, no obstacle can actually stand on your way. When you have a very strong why, there are ways to make your why strong, and those are stories for another day. No, we won't leave there. Then she had a brain reset, and when she had that brain reset, when she put a call across to someone to assist with the drug and it was not coming, she had a brain reset, but she didn't stop there. She took a decision. She took a decision. That's the third one. The fourth thing is she said to herself, hard work doesn't kill. What do you say to yourself? What are your self-talk? Then number five, she said she's still young. And hey, I want to put this to you. Those of you very young out there, 18, 20, 25. In fact, I'm old enough to be your grandmother, really. I
Yeah.
mean, there's this song that when I listen to it, I enjoy it, but I just tell myself, I hope this young generation of people are not just, this is not the only song they are singing, and that is, allow me to enjoy myself, allow me to enjoy myself, and we dance this song with all of the energy. Please, I'm not saying don't listen to the song, listen, but please enjoy yourself, but please walk. Then she said she has this brain of execution, that is personal strength. So you need to look inward, check what is your personal strength that you can take advantage of. And she is taking advantage of that. She's not just she's not just aware that I have a brain of execution and just leave it there. Many of you have an advantage within you, but you're not taking advantage of that unique advantage. You need to do that. Then the connection between skills, knowledge, and hard work. Because she's knowledgeable, she acquires so many skills, it's easy for her to apply those things when she's working, and that actually culminates in hard work. Then her aspirations, as in the future, she has goals, she has aspirations. Okay, then She wants her integrity to be to be out there. She doesn't want to take your money and not deliver. Like today, I mentioned that integrity. When you give her something, she will deliver it. Okay, so then she tells herself that comes to self-talk again. It's just for a while. Then another thing is when you don't have the luxury of so much money, you put in the effort, and putting in the effort has helped her. And that is one of the secrets of life. When you don't have the luxury of all of the money, you are not Dangote's daughter. And hey, I want to talk to somebody here, and you are thinking you are at a disadvantage because you are not born into a very wealthy family. Please drop it, drop that idea. That you can turn it around to be something that will position you in places where you are not even thinking that you can be. Look at Hilda's story. Look at what she did. And look at where I saw her hugging Tony Elumelu which day. And I'm like, okay, levels. Levels here, you have changed. Oh, and I will say it in Nigeria. Sorry, I can be that way. Okay, so you don't have luxury of so much money, or you are not born into a family that is rich, and you think, oh, I have to do so many things, oh, I have to do this to make this mean. Please turn it to an advantage. Then she does anything without being perfect. For me, I have learned that, and I wrote it down. I'm going to write it and put it on my vision board. Emiola, you don't have to be perfect. Because of my temperament, I have this very high perfectionist tendency, and it stops me from doing so many things I should be doing. So I don't know if you're here and maybe you fall into my category. Don't worry, welcome to the family, but we need to do something about it, and immediately. So, Excellence, thank you. Let's go to the next one.
Okay. Thank you. I'm enjoying this, by the way. So the next point, you said she does not give up at the first sight of obstacles. This is deep but very relevant. I think it's very, very relevant. I always say this: I'm not afraid to fail. I'm
Hmm.
not afraid to fail. I'm
Okay.
not afraid to fail. Those that have worked with me from far back, they know how many things we've cancelled. They know how many things that have not worked. They know how many programs that have not worked. They know highest is no. Highest, it will not work. We move on.
Hmm.
Um, so no, I do not. And another thing is, before I embark on things, most times I pray, and I'm very sensitive to my spirit. My intuition is very high. So if I feel it's a go, it's a go. Um, yeah, I'm a very open person. I can drag everybody along. But if I feel that a lot of people are beginning to say kiniko kiniko, I'll just leave you and I'll just do it. Once it's in my mind, once I am convinced about it, I go all the way. But when I sense, oh, this is it, it's I think it's okay to also walk away. So no, I don't give up that way. Actually, when I'm convinced about something, if it doesn't work, my first response is not, hey, it's not God's will, it's not working. No, my first response is there something I'm missing? Is there a gap?
Hmm.
Did I interpret the information correctly? Is there something I could have done better? That's my first response. So I want to analyze the situation. What could I have done better? What could I do better? And that's what happens first. That's the first thing I do, and then I push for it. And I think in all my not give up stories, my recent grad school story is literally the most significant, because it was a lot, and I was tried on all angles. But no, I don't give up that easily. I've also started stuffs that were so beautiful, and at a certain point, they had to end. And sometimes we don't let go because we have held on to that thing for so long, and that thing might be hurting you, that thing might not be right for you, but because you've held on to it for so long, or because of what people will say and all of that, we stay there. So I don't want you to be confused with me not giving up and me holding on to things that it's time for me to give up. So when I'm convinced it's time for me to move, you know, they had. And I also need to let you know that when something happens, maybe I'm trying to get something and I don't hit the goal, it doesn't mean that immediately I move on to something else. No, I don't. I also cry. I also feel bad.
Hmm.
I also stay in bed maybe for a while, but just for a while. And with time, I give myself sense. Oh yeah, move on. Sharp, sharp. The funny thing is I don't I'm self-motivated like that, and that comes from I think you really aligned this thing very well. It comes from nobody's coming to save you. What's the next thing? Oh yeah, sharp sharp. Even if my body is dragging, I just quickly okay, what's next, and this doesn't work, and what's next, right? So that's how my brain works. I don't dwell on something for too long, and it helps me move on. This is very important to me because I'm a very passionate person, and in what I do, I think some people that are really close to me, they say I'm intense. That's the word they use, that I'm intense. Whatever I do in relationships, in business, I'm always all in. I don't know how to sit on the fence. It's either I'm in or I'm out. If I'm not there, I'll just tell you. I'm so passionate about it. And so when it doesn't work or when it fails, it gets to me. It hits me hard. It affects my brain. For a while, it might even impact on my work. And I'm a creative. My brain works like million stuffs per second. And so you can imagine having to be hit by that. So yes, it happens to me as well, but I stay for a while. I also use a lot of affirmations, and then I listen to messages again. I listen to messages to remind me of who I am, to remind me of where I'm going or where I'm coming from. Or then I'll go back to my journal to go and read again. Where am I going? Where am I coming from? Or yeah, try again. And then I move on, and I try again. So now give up, now you lose. They give up
Hmm.
like that though. I tell people that my married lasted for 3 years before I left, and trust me, if I wanted to leave, I would have left the first week. So that 3 years was 3 years of trying to make it work. It was 3 years of staying put. I didn't just give up. So people that are close to me will tell you, if excellence walks away from something, forget about it. Once she has turned her back, she has turned her back. The thing is, because before I turn my back, just know I've weighed it carefully. I have checked, and I don't just turn my, even on people. I don't give up on people like that. I'll give you the benefit of doubt. Situations I don't. I will check and check again. But once I turn, just know I've turned. No, that is done with. But before I do that, I always want to make sure we've tried everything, and all of that. And most times, my dad also used to tell me when I was younger that nothing good comes easy. That something that is sustainable usually will have its own challenge, but see it as a process instead of this. And he would just tell me when I would call him from school and I'll be crying. He said, "Nothing good comes easy. Just be patient. It's for a while." And so that's why my first response to failure or not getting something is not that it's not God or is false. No, no, that's not my first response. My first response is this really where I'm supposed to be? Is there something I'm supposed to pay attention to? And sometimes when you fail at something, it might be for you, but maybe not at that time, maybe for later, right? So yeah, that's how it works for me. That's how my brain works in terms of not giving up at the first times of obstacle. I think this also works for young people when they get a job and maybe the boss is complaining, "Oh, you didn't do this thing well. It should be like this." The first thing is, "I'm not doing again. I'm not doing again. I'm resigning." In fact, that's it. No, you don't just do that. You don't just resign. You don't just walk away. How can I do this better? You try, you make an effort, you try to see things from the other person's perspective, and it has really really helped me. So yeah. Are you there? We can hear you. I think her internet is glitching, but she'll join us back in a bit. Okay, now we can
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me? Excellent. Okay.
Hear
Okay.
you now.
So please, it's important that we learn from one another. Like I said at the beginning, none of us is an island of knowledge or everything. You know everything. No, please. There are things that I will not be able to capture. Please drop them in the comments. Let somebody learn from you. Okay. So the 10 things under she does not give up at the first sight of obstacle. Number one, she said she's not afraid to fail. I think this is one of the things that I have to learn from her. Excellence, please, I need to sign up. How much am I paying? Come on. I'm so afraid to fail, really. Okay, so, and that is one of the things, that's why I had to mention to you from the beginning that we are all not perfect. And that is why I am not going to hide the things I'm still working on from you. And like I said, I'm not very young and I'm still working on some things. Okay, so I need you to get some of these codes so that you take them away and it will help you. She's not afraid to fail. So are you afraid to fail? You need to ask yourself. Then when she's convinced, she will go all out. Then she prays about stuff. That's the number 3. Then her first response, this got me too. Her first response is, there is something I'm missing. So
We can hear you. Can you hear me?
okay, can you hear now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, so our first response is there something I am missing? God, I think there's network. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, so I think there is she has growth mindset. So I think that is very important. Please go and research growth and fixed mindset. You need to read that. Then she doesn't allow herself to confuse working on something that she's supposed to be working on and something that she should drop. Okay, so it doesn't mean that because she doesn't give up easily, what she's supposed to drop, she keeps working at it. Then she's human, and this is a very important point also. She's human. She feels the emotion of failing on something or not being able to do very well, but she will still go ahead and find a way around it. Now, you need to understand that her temperament is different from yours, and I like to emphasize this so that you don't look at excellence and want to just copy her. She has a unique temperament, a unique traits, a personality traits. They will work for her. And all of us, we have our personality traits, and we have things that will work for us because of our personality traits. If you have never tried to find out what your temperament is, I want to encourage you, please research, go online. And this brings me to the fact that excellence is such an amazing person. In fact, at times I look at her and I'm like, is she that age? Really? She actually paid so much to check her temperament. And I think she has done it before, but she paid for DISC. DISC is not cheap. She paid for that to check her own personality traits out. So go online. There are free, and I think excellence, I'm sure you will be able to research and drop for them. I think I have a link to somewhere that they can go to check their temperament also. You need to know yourself. Most of the time, the person we don't know is ourselves. Sorry, I won't be able to do this today. I don't want to teach. I just want to stay on course. But I think this is a very important code. You need to know yourself. You need to know your personality traits. Then she self-motivates. And that, again, I want to dwell on temperament. There are some of us that we cannot motivate ourselves naturally. For me, one of the people I listen to very well is Les Brown. Because naturally, I'm not a self-motivated person because of the two temperaments that I combine. So I have to look for an external motivation. So I listen to Les Brown, I listen to people like that, Tony Robbins and all of them like that. Then she does not dwell on things for too much. Again, you need to know yourself. Then the last one that touched me, touched something in me. She said her father encourages her. And two things I want to say on this. And let me start with the first one. Do you encourage people in your space? Do you encourage people in your space? Because when you encourage people, there's an energy that you put forth also that works for you. Then do you have people in your environment that brings that positive energy into your life? Like excellence usually say, hey, mama is a catalyst and all of that. I thank God for that because I don't even know how I do those things really. And that's why I know that it is just God, it's not me really. But you need to have people like that in your life that serves as catalyst, that will motivate you, that will bring positive energy into your space. When you feel like giving up, they say, no, you can do it. Just stretch a little more. And I think that is one of the things she's doing for you in this class. Please take advantage of all of this. So please drop more for us. Excellence, thank you. To the next one.
Thank you, ma. So before we go to the next one, I want to say something, and I want to appeal to you guys that this class is supposed to be for 1 hour. If Do you
Oh,
guys think we
sorry.
should wrap it up and continue the next class, or do you want us to continue? I'm enjoying it anyway. If you want us to continue, I'm all here. But if you want us to go on for next week, please put it in the chat box, and we'll do that. But I want to say something about when you talked about knowing yourself. I like how you expatiated on the personality thing. I've invested a lot in getting to know myself. I think that it is very important, and that's the foundation of every human, to know who you are. And knowing who you are is not by guesswork. It's not just something you just guess. Know who you are from your perspective, from the perspective of others, and from what should be the ideal. You see, I was listening to something yesterday, and Mike and Angelo was explaining when they asked him how was he able to carve the David, like the David statue that you see, that guy standing. He said he was able to get perfection because he removed everything that was not the David. That
Hmm.
was his guiding principle, to remove everything that is not the David in the statue. And the thing about it is, what is not you? What is not excellence in you? If you don't know yourself, you don't even know the gap to fill. Most people don't know themselves. Like, I didn't know myself when I got married. If I knew myself, I wouldn't have gotten married when I got married or to who I got married to. Knowing yourself is very important. She has explained that I have my temperament and all of that, and you might have yours. Somebody might be good, might be a good person, but the person might not be for you based on who you are and where you're going. I had this amazing friend, amazing guy, very cool. We're good friends. But you see, I couldn't continue with that relationship because we wanted two different things and we're two separate people. He wanted like 5 kids, always be with family. I am a global excellence, for goodness sake. I'm going to be touring the world. I can't be always with you, and I cannot have 10 kids for you. It doesn't mean what he wants is bad.
Thank
No,
you.
it doesn't mean what I want is bad. It's not bad. It's just that we're two different people. But if I didn't know myself and I wasn't confident in who I was, I would have been confused. Because to be honest, he was nice and everything good. I would have jumped into it. So before, I always say this all the time, know yourself before you choose your future. Don't choose your future before you know yourself. Your future is your marriage. Your future is that career, is that part. If you have to spend money, spend money to know. I've paid for several tests. I've even reached out to people that know me and asked them, if they ask you about me, what do you think about me? When I did the Dick's personality test, the consultant that did it for me, she reached out to me and she was just laughing. And she's like, you have 3 personalities and they're all alike. Like no one is, it's so close to each other that you appear differently to other people, you're different to yourself, and you're different to others. And when she said it, when I looked at it, I just smiled because that is actually true. And that's because I have mastered the ability to evolve and become whatever the situation needs me to be at that time. So today I can be laughing with you and be very extroverted. Tomorrow I don't want to see you in my room. I'll just enter and lock my door. I'm just like that. So you just be confused. But I'm very, very
I
okay.
get
Oh my
it.
God, just I'm able to morph. I call it morph. So if for now the situation in my life needs me to work hard and call everybody, I will do it. Tomorrow the situation in my life might need me to be reserved. It's very necessary. But it's important to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, how do you engineer yourself to greatness? How do you know where you're lacking? When
How do
I got
you
to know
grow?
myself, I knew that, oh, I love to give, but I was spendthrift. I was always giving. I wasn't buying clothes or shoes for myself, oh, but I was always helping people. I was always giving, 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 which is not bad. But as I was growing and my son is growing and I needed to make plans, I knew something was wrong. I paid for a coach finances, please look at it. I was honest. I brought on my books. This is where I am. I'm making money, but this is what is happening. Please help me put it together. But that's because I knew myself. You might not even be able to have money to pay for it, because there are some self-assessment personality tests I'm going to send via email to you guys that are also
Okay.
free, that you can start with. But please, if there's any gift you want to give yourself this month, study yourself, know who you are, not just in your head. Though some of us in our head will think I'm amazing. Then when you talk to BC will say, ah, you're very rude. Though. You think you're saying your mind, but the way you say your mind, it can pierce somebody's heart and the person will cry. So you need to learn. Invest in knowing yourself. Know yourself and remove everything that is not you from you, so that you can become your ideal self, so that you can become that future self that you desire. So yeah, I had to share that story
Thank you.
about
Thank you
that.
so much, Excellence. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
So the
So
same
the
thing
next
to
one.
you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the so number
Okay.
4, she said, I can handle starting small. Yeah. That one is relatively simple. I don't know. I'm not
But
ashamed.
but you don't think
Shameless.
small. You are not a small thinker. Please add that to it.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, I might start small, but I'm in no way confused about where I'm going. I'm not confused. I'm not afraid to lose everything. I'm not afraid to lose everything. And yeah, I've started small a couple of times. But one thing somebody told me one day that struck with me was a friend said, when I was down, I was trying to get myself. He said, "Excellence, I've seen you build. It's not about the things, it's about your mind. There's a way you can do it again." I know that just jacked me out of my bed.
Hmm.
So I see a bigger picture, and you know why I'm able to start small, because I start with the end in mind.
Hmm.
So when I say I'm going to train a million girls, I'm going to train a million girls. Maybe it's 500 today, maybe it's 1,000. I know where I'm going. Like, I'm not confused. I start with the end in mind, and I always encourage people start with the end in mind. When you start with the end in mind, you're seeing something. The Bible says Jesus, for the glory ahead, he was able to endure the cross. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? This is part of my board. It's here by my side. I have a 4 by 4 feet vision board. I have pasters everywhere in my workspace. What are you looking at? For the glory ahead, he endured the cross. Start from the end in the mind. So me, I'm not in doubt. Maybe I might be here now. You better maximize me. I'm a global excellence. Tomorrow now, my phone will be ringing. I might not be able to pick. It's not because I don't want to pick up, because I'll be very busy. I'm not in doubt of that one. It's a journey. It's just a matter of time. But I'm building capacity. It's a process. So I'm not confused. And that's why even when I start small, I don't compromise on things. I don't do nonsense. I don't. Some people say I just be doing, because I know where I'm going. I'm intentional with the little resources, with the whatever it is, no matter how small. I'm intentionally doing it because I know it's just for a while. And then some of you, you're so lost, you don't see ahead, and so you live anyhow. You post any picture online, you comment anyhow. That's my opinion. That's how I
Hey.
feel. I think I
Hey,
don't have
hey,
opinion.
hey.
Don't you notice? If you notice, I don't talk about it. You think I don't know what to say? You think I don't have? I don't have. I know, but it's not everything you talk about, because you know where you're going. So you're here now. You're doing your own, but you have 500 followers. You have 20 followers, but because when the script is being written, these things will feature. When I was in secondary school, a friend of mine told me, he brought an article to me. He said that in that article, Obafemi Awolowo, he wrote, he said, when my friends were wasting their time with women of loose virtue, I was burning my midnight candle to find the solutions to the problems of my country. And today, this is where I am. And so he was telling me, he said, Excellence, your life is going to be so beautiful and colorful. Don't forget to take so many pictures, because a book with so many pictures is more interesting to read and more, than just a book where they have right. So he told me, be taking pictures, even if they are not clear, take it, be saving them, because someday you will want to refer that this is what happened. These are the conversations you had. This is where you were doubting. A friend of mine that helped me walk me through when I was going through this graduate, I had just few people to talk to. I couldn't tell everybody what I was doing, but he was one of those, and he was just bringing out a chat how I had doubts, but I still persevered. How I would tell him that this thing is too much, oh, and later I'll come and tell him, okay, I've done it. And when I was reading those things, I was like, oh my God, it's so typical of you, but I still got to do it. So you need to see ahead. If you don't see ahead, you will not be motivated. You'll be tired. Is that vision that you see, is what you're seeing ahead that will keep you, that will propel you, irrespective of where you are, who your parents are, whatever it is. I don't even look at that one. My friend, you say, she told me that day, she said, I used to tell people that I have this friend that can enter any door. That's what she tells people. I'm like, she said, are you any office you can enter? Because I'm not scared. Anywhere, is it not no? No. If we have to kneel down, we kneel down and beg. So it's a journey. But in that journey, don't be lost about where you're going. Don't be confused. Don't just live anyhow, right? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. And the only way you can do that is, it doesn't mean the vision ahead will not change. Doesn't mean it might not switch. It might switch. But then you're living intentionally. That's how I'm able to start small. Though. It's not, I know it's not be small forever, but my own is just start. What do we have? Okay, how can we do it? How can we do it? Okay, let's start. But we know where we are going. And so we do not compromise on those values, even in that small state.
Thank you. Excellent. Because of time, I'm thinking, should I just allow you go through everything? Because even me now, I think you are hitting me very hard, really. There's something that I will have to start after now. Yeah, it's been there, and as you were speaking, it's just hitting me very hard. Okay, so let me say it here so that I can still escape to my. Okay, so can you just continue and run through everything, or you still want me to mention the things I got
Okay, let
so
me
that we
just
can
run through.
finish
I think
on
they're just
time?
fantastic.
Thank you,
They're just
thank you,
fantastic. So let's go there.
thank you.
So the fifth one is, you said I can be relied on to deliver. Well, I think that has to do with my core values. I don't leave people stranded. No matter how I want to help, but I have to be honest with you. There are a few people, very few people, that sometimes have stretched my patience beyond their reasonable doubts, especially people that don't know what they want
Sure.
and don't know what they want, and they don't know what they don't want. And so when they stretch me too much and my brain begins to disturb, I walk away. But you see, one thing that I'm very quick to do, I'm very quick to refund. My integrity is very important, so I'll just give you back your money, even though I've spent a lot of it, or I've stressed. I always try to give full. But in learning about business, I've learned how to have a refund policy. And also, as I grow, I'm also able to screen the kind of people I work with to let you know, this is it, or this is how I work. If you cannot work like that, it's not everybody I can work with. But you see, when you're hustling and you're just starting, you don't have so many options. You tend to everything you say yes to, and then I had those issues. So my value, what are your core values? And where are you going? I know I'm going to let me not become something tomorrow. I do not come and say that girl did. So I'm always conscious of that. So I always like to deliver, and I always like to take on projects I'm passionate about. So yeah, that's helped me. Then being very proactive. That one I'm very key on it though. And I'm not waiting for anybody. If I want to do something, I go ahead and do it. So I'm doing a makeup class. I'm learning how to make up myself, and we have classes Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And so today is the third, like it's just for 2 weeks. This is the first week. So today we had a class. That's why I have my face made up. It's not like I make up my face every day, but I had my face made up. And so when my makeup artist finished, she goes, it's been a while. I've seen you on your nose ring. Where's your nose ring? I'm like, I removed it and then it closed. She's like, I remember. I said, that's the second time I'm actually piercing my nose. She's like, really? I'm like, yes. I said, I've dyed my hair red before, gold, black. Anything I want to do, I'll do. When I realize I don't like it, I'll change it. I'll remove it to close to go. Except the ones that are overly permanent, I'm very careful in taking those decisions. But if I want to do something, I go all out. I go all out, even though it doesn't work. Okay, fine. We've learned. I don't hold on to things too much. I believe I also have a mindset that I'm a channel. that God is using me to bless other people, to help other people, to, and so I don't believe things stay with me. So if I learn something, I have to push it out. If I get something, I have to push it out. And so that helps me. And so I'm very proactive. I want to do something, I don't wait. If somebody is dragging me, I go and learn how to do it by myself, or I find people that are willing. They're not willing, I just do it. And in this generation, it's very necessary. You don't have to wait for people before you start. You don't have to wait for people to support you. You don't have to. Before I started this cohort, I wrote letters to so many people, and we didn't get any response. I just called my team. I said, we don't have sponsors yet. Fine. What do we have, and what can we do with it? We did not say we will move the cohort to next year until the sponsors respond, or go and send another sponsors. I don't do that. I'm on assignment, so this is what we're doing. If they're not coming, okay, when they're ready, they can adjust. I had a conversation with someone 2 days ago, and it's like, oh, I want 10 people to join. I want you to train 10 people. I said, if you want 10 people to join, they can join this cohort because we just started. But if you're not training up to 100, we cannot organize a cohort for you at the price that you're requesting for. But if you want them at that price, they can join the cohort right now. And it's like, no, I said, that's fine. Maybe we have to recheck on this. And both of us said, thank you for your time. That's it for me. Do I need the money? Yes. Would that have been a plus? Yes. But no, I'm not compromising on some things. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. That's how I am. When there's need to be flexible, I can, but I don't wait for people to make things happen. I just get and do it. They'll support you. They'll come along the way when it's necessary. Then the last point, the God factor. Oh my God. How can I not? how, how can I not? I
Ooh,
literally feel I'm living a second life. I have gone through so much in terms of health that I didn't think I would live up to 30. I didn't think so. At that point, I have had not one, not two illnesses that had no cure, or the doctor said had no cure. When I was writing my final project in school, I could not speak. I had syndrome, pneumonia. There was a time I even had this situation where half very sensitive, the other half was normal. Like, I've had so many things, but here I am, all beautiful, smiling. God gave me this life, this beautiful life, and God gave me this amazing brain. Ah, hey, it is a chance to. He gave me another chance to live again. And you know what I promised him? I will die empty. I'm your
wow.
extension. Anything you want to do, you do. So I'm very, very sensitive I'm very, very sensitive spiritually. I love God. I love my church family at the Covenant Nation. What they teach aligns with what I believe in, and it has strengthened my mind, my heart. And two things I'm very keen about is love and faith. Love and faith. Very, very principled. And that's really helped me. Most times when I listen to messages in church, it just feels like it was preparing me for what's coming ahead. It took me a while to go back to church because church had done me shaggy, and so I love God. God had healed me, but I would be serving God myself. But I'm happy to have found the Covenant Nation. It's just been amazing for me, and it has really helped me. But it's just God's power in my life is undeniable. How can I be thinking of all these things? How can I even? There's no way. I don't even know how this. And sometimes I'll just be having my bath and the thing will just drop. Like how? It doesn't drop for everybody like that now. So yeah, God is central, and I'm that person that you cannot have a good thing and hide it. Some people have good thing and they used to hide it too. Me, I don't know how to hide this. Mama Emiola would say, "She people know excellence don't have secrets. It's just as she is like that," and that's how I am. So that's the same way how God is making my life jolly, jolly. I cannot be hiding it. I will tell you as it is. When I get those light bulb moments, when the scripture lights up in my eyes, I am so excited that I can't keep it. I can't keep it. I want to share. I want you to feel what I've felt. I want you to experience what I've experienced. I'm just so excited about when I get something new. So that's why it's natural for me. And I feel that I'm not a pastor on the pulpit, but I can be a Bible written without hands. People can see my life. People should see my life and give thanks to God. That's how I live my life. And so yeah, that's the seven. I tried as much as possible. So
Please, can we appreciate excellence? Can we just appreciate her? Please, in the comment section, can you just drop a word for her. Please just drop something for her. See, the truth is, all of the things she's talked about today, they are not things that came on a platter of gold. And Excellence, I want you to touch on that. Is it that all of these things that we're just talking about, were there times that it was just difficult? Please, can you touch on that?
There were several times. There were several times. Several times when nothing made sense.
Hmm.
Absolutely nothing made sense. Was it the time when we were in that neurology clinic where the doctor looked at my mom and I and said, "We're sorry, there's no cure"? Was it the time when the doctor looked at me and said, "Your two ovaries, they're full of cysts. How didn't you notice? It's bilateral. There's no way you can have kids"? Was it the time when the scholarship failed and I had to go back to school? Was it the time when I had to leave pharmacy and change course and had to start again? Was it last year after I'd sold everything, my car, my whole workspace, everything that I'd gotten that had cost me a lot? I sold them for peanuts and I was denied a visa twice. I got back home and I fell on my mother's knees and I wept. I wailed, I screamed, I cried. It did not make sense. Were there the times where I told people that God was telling me this and they were like, "Is it only you that is hearing God? We need to start questioning this thing you're hearing, because it's not coming to pass." There were so many times. There were times when I had to call friends, "Please, can you sign up for this course for me? It's just 1,000 naira." The journey of my life has been a funny journey. It's been a journey of, I call it the journey of unusual grace. I've gone through so much. I've gone through so much. What I don't understand is what is happening with me. But I think God healed my heart. I think God healed my heart because there's no way I could explain it. For a while, I walked with my heart so hot that it felt like there was a pin that was pressing in. It was so painful. It was so hurtful. I would cry. I didn't know what happened. Somebody had to ask me, "Are you sure you will not go for deliverance? Maybe there's something that you did that is making all this happen to you." Because on the physical, it's like there's something I did, but is there a secret sin that you committed that you have to confess for? You know, yeah, it was that bad because nothing added up. So how could you have been that good girl, bright student, and your life could have now changed like this? But you see, God is a master planner. He's an author. It does not end with God where it ends with man.
Hmm.
Man can look at your life and say, "That is it. That's it." I looked at a message of a friend a few days ago when the friend kept saying I was going to come and see you, and I said, "Ha, if this one you say you come and see me, is when I've left the country, you come and see me." And he said, "That's how you're always saying when you leave the country. You've been saying that since how many years? You have not left. I'll come and see you, Joe." Yeah. And I just smiled. And I went back to that conversation. But I'm not just living, I'm living like a queen. I'm living like a queen. Yes. Yes. That's God for you. That is God for you. He just makes people look stupid. And this is for those that trust God. He says all things work together for those that trust him. In the message version in Jeremiah 29:11, it says, "I know what I'm doing and I have it all figured out." If you listen to the story of my life now, you can hear all of this and it's all beautiful and you're all smiling and you're, "Oh wow, I admire you." And when somebody say, "I want your life," don't want it. I don't even want my life for you. Do you know the level of pain I've experienced? No, I don't want it for you. Learn what you can learn, enhance your life. I don't want it for you. But you know what people kept telling me is that God does not give us more than what we can handle. That God knew you could handle this. God knew. I'm like, how can God know I can handle? What kind of life? It's a lot. I've been through so much. Academic failure, delay in childbirth, emergency CS, different things, different things. But God kept me. At that time, I didn't know why He was keeping me. And every time another one would happen. But I think he was just using it to glorify himself eventually. It now, to a large extent, makes sense. And so I always tell people that it will eventually make sense if you stick with God. Um, it wasn't an easy ride, but I don't know, for one reason, it didn't. I was never confused about where I was going, if I was going to stay here, if I was going to be on this earth. I just didn't know how I would connect it. I'm like, how I'm living here? I don't know how. I cannot be going to work. I don't where how will it happen? I kept asking, how will it happen? I didn't know how, but I just knew I was going somewhere. Right? I knew I was going somewhere. When we started Tech Up Girls, many things didn't add up. I've also experienced grant funding scam. I've so many things, so many things. But God kept me, and I stayed focused on Him. I trusted Him, and I always It doesn't mean that there were times I didn't, you shake here and there. Yeah, oh my God, what did I do? How do I do that? Or maybe try something else and find out it doesn't work. But I believe that those that hold on to God, whatever God is to you, by the way, because I know we have people of different religions here, whatever God is to you, please, if you hold on to Him and you believe so much, you believe in Him, and somebody said one of the things that might have kept you is you have a good heart. No matter what is happening, your heart is just open.
Oh
So no matter
yes.
what they do,
Oh
they cannot
yes. Oh
or something
yes.
covering you. I said, me, I don't know. But me, I don't have evil against people. I
Oh
can't even think
yes.
it. I
Oh
don't,
yes.
my heart, as it is, as I'm telling you, is how it is. I'm not that kind of person that is saying once a year in the back. As it is, it's just how it is. And some people say maybe that's what is keeping you alive. I don't know. I don't know which one. I don't know how, but I just know that I found mercy in God's sight, and God gave me another chance to live. And this life that I live, I will live it fully. Maybe I should go and lock my hair self and maybe tint my brow red.
If I
But I will
knew.
live. I'll live fully. That's
Please lock it if you want to lock it. I'm behind you. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Excellence. Thank you. Please continue to drop a word for her. It's not usually very easy, especially when you are on assignments. A lot comes to discourage you, to pull you down, to make sure that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, make you doubt yourself that is God even really sending me on anything, and all of that. So, Excellence, thank you for bringing yourself out there. Thank you for being someone that is impacting the next generation, and even your own generation, and the generation even before you, because I am a generation that is way before you, but you have impacted me so much. I usually tell Excellence that Excellence will say, Mama, you have, and I tell her that, see, the impact you've had on my own life too, or you have on my life too, is so much. I've learned a lot from her. She inspires you. If you are in excellence space, you must be inspired. That's the truth. Unless you are an enemy of progress, because there are some people, no matter what you do, they are looking at you. What's our problem? What is it? There are people like that. But really, if you are a sincere person with a good heart like her, like she rightly said, she has a very good heart. That I can say. Okay, so I believe that we've been able to help someone today, because I told her I believe in God. I believe in God, and I told her, despite the fact that she didn't know all of the things that I said today, I thank God that she's able to handle everything so graciously, and that is that should point to the fact that she's sincere. And these things that I have said, they are not lies, because you can see the way she handled them so graciously. Okay, so I want to encourage you that as you live today, you may need to go back and go and check some of the things she talked about. On social media, we see so many fake lives, so many fake things. I usually jokingly put on my status that I am in Hawaii in my dream. Then I put it on my Facebook and all of that. I actually want to go to Hawaii. I want to just go. I just love it. So at a point, I just sensed that maybe because some people will send messages and all of those things. So I had to put it on my status, and I said, I am not in Hawaii physically. I'm actually there in my dream, in my imagination. I want to encourage you. She mentioned something. She said she does things with the end in mind. Please set some goals for yourself. What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? So I actually put it on my status. I said, I'm not there physically. I said, if you know how to live life, you know how to unleash the power of your mind, there is actually no need to live fake life. Please, if you're on this call today, I want to encourage you that you take these things that we have talked about and please listen to them again. See the ones that you can apply. See the ones that you can start working on that can help you in the future. Now, let me say to you, Africans on this call, the world is open to you to play. So you can achieve so much. The opportunities that we did not have growing up, you have them. But I tell you, you may not be able to work with the international world if your soft skills are not sharpened, they are not good enough. The international world, they have standards. And once you make use of some of these things, you can play anywhere in the world. That's the beauty of all of the things that we have talked about today. You can play here in Nigeria, you can play here in Africa, you can play anywhere in the world. Okay, so I want to encourage you, please listen to them again, start working on them. If you have questions, please put them forward. If you have challenges, please put them forward. And I want to encourage you lastly that you begin to work on your mindset. Now, we have mindsets that are keeping us behind in Africa. Please begin to work on them. Some of the things we talked about today, if you start working on them, they will begin to correct some of the mindsets that we have. Okay, I can't begin to mention them. We don't have time. So thank you so much for joining us today. I really celebrate everyone here. And if you are here, please don't play small and please go all out and impact your world, impact your generation also. So thank you, Excellence. And thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And thank you for having me also. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, one last thing before we end the broadcast. I would like as many young women as possible to learn from this. You know, people have always asked me, share your story, share your stuff, but I don't know how to. I'm like, it's a long story. But I love this approach we had today, and I want to thank you, Mama, for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. It means so much. It just made it a lot easier. I want you to also share what you have learned with other girls, with other women around you. You can share on social media, you can share on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, what you have learned, and also encourage them, call them to greatness. It might just be that word. I met Mrs. Emiola because somebody I casually met on social media, Joseph, had invited me for that meeting, right? You might just be that link that might just put something out there and somebody will see it, and life will make so much meaning and they'll run with their life. Somebody just put something about intentionality. I've never met her one-on-one, but I saw that she put that in maybe 2016. I saw that and I ran with it. I got her intentionality journal. I've never met her. She doesn't know me, but I know her. So I would like you to put it out. Tag me by all means if you can. Mention what you learned in your own words. What were your learning points? Tag me if you can. Let's share it widely. Let's help as many girls as possible to have better lives. So understand that you can be different in the generation of today and still be relevant. You can still be who whatever it is you want to be. There's no stopping you, there's no holding you back. Today is the first of many coaching calls. I told you this cohort is different. I really don't know what's going to be next week. God will help me to know what we'll have, but it's going to be a conversation. And trust me, when I say you're going to be changed, you are going to be changed by the end of this cohort. This cohort is very special to me. Don't forget to tag Mwanga Africa. Don't forget to tag me. You can tag Miss Emiola as well. She's Miss Emiola Tuji Mustafa on Facebook, Instagram, and all of that. And thank you, everyone. I wish you an amazing day. Thank you, Mama Emiola, again. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad. Thank you. Bye.